When we first started looking at ballot integrity, for most of you that don't know, I'm actually a sixth-generation native Arizonan. Live here, grew up here, went to ASU, managed the largest printing company in Arizona, and for 16 years I printed the Maricopa County ballots. I supervised the printing of it. And so when I looked at that, and I've used this analogy a number of times, when you're trying to create something secure, somebody said, you know, secure your house, lock your doors, have cameras, have security, you know, put double locks and make sure your windows are locked. When I started watching what they were doing with this election, I started seeing the immediate changes right towards the end in July, right before we started voting. It made absolutely zero sense to somebody who knows printing and knows all the things you could do to secure this election. They were stopping absolute everything that could secure this election. And when you see that, the only thing that you can draw from that is they don't want this election secured. There's something they're intending to do, and unless we pay attention, we're going to miss it. And what we found out is that we needed to do that. So I got involved. I was actually retired, came out of retirement and said, hey, we need to do something about this. Got in touch with a bunch of people. Ended up talking to Jovan Pulitzer, who many of you saw today. And I said, Jovan, I know you're going to look at these things, but there's like 7 other things you should be looking at. Many of these way more important. Many of these things that nobody knows about, that people don't realize. I'll give you an example. When a ballot's created, everybody thinks you can just go duplicate off that ballot and submit it. What most people don't realize is there were 667 versions of the Maricopa County ballot this year. Okay?
Is that a problem?
Well, it's not a problem. In fact, it turned out, and what also most of you don't know is I designed the audit of this election for all the printing and the paper and the authenticity of these ballots. Put the cameras in place.
You were in charge of the cameras at the Coliseum?
Myself.
Bravo.
And as you saw us getting sued over and over again, they kept suing. What they were suing us for is they wanted to know what we were doing with it. Why would they have a camera? Why would they be shining different colors of lights on those ballots? You're not supposed to look at that. You're supposed to count. Stop it. Stop it. Well, there's only one, and I say this over and over again, there's only one reason you wouldn't want us to validate the most secure election in history. Only one reason. And that's that you know it's not the most secure election in history. And so the point of the audit was when they sued, I kept saying to our attorneys, it's really simple. Just tell them this. The contract says we're only to count legal, authentic votes. That has to be on a legal, authentic ballot. And I can prove that. And so that's where we went. The other thing that I think is very interesting is they keep saying they don't know what they're doing. They're idiots. These people are ridiculous. They have no idea what they're doing. They've never done this before. This is the first time in the history of the United States, number one, that it's ever been done, but more important, it's the first time it's ever been needed. And it was done. I can tell you that I could go over all the process and you'd all understand, but when a ballot gets created, think about this. It's like your bill being created from SRP. They go out and they get your voter identification number and they find out what precinct you live in, what city, what county, where your school districts are. All of that information has to be accessed to create the proper ballot exactly for you. Because you have to vote for the right candidates in a city mayoral election, council elections, JP elections, the legislative district, the congressional district. Think of those as maps that overlay the Maricopa County area. And it creates all these little sections, and all these people get a very different ballot. So if somebody did what we were told they might have done, which was gone out and just duplicated a bunch of ballots, or put the same ballot in many times, or any of these kind of things, I knew there was a way to find that out. And so what we did is the cameras are not really cameras. Frankly, they're digital cameras. Digital cameras that are forensic. Those are actually police forensic cameras. They're very, very high speed, high definition digital cameras. They make a scanned ballot. So we scan that ballot. We then used, and we're doing right now, using optical character recognition. We're looking at what's in place on that ballot based on who that ballot is. How many should there be? Can there be this many? When the details come out, I can't say much. I know Karen Phan's going to release a lot of this on Monday. What I can tell you is you now will have the most authentic count of every legal authentic ballot you could possibly have.
Thank you, Bob. Look at that, a standing ovation. That's awesome.
Thank you.